Welcome to MetalVice In 666. I'm your host, Brian. Joining the other host,
Karen.
All right, we're going to blow through this one really quick. So for this episode, I wanted to talk about, is Record Store Day worth it for us personally?
For
our
us
thoughts.
personally, okay.
I've seen every time the list comes out, every time there's something about Record Store Day on Reddit primarily, in the forums I'm on, there's a lot of the community, it seems like, that is pretty vocal around disliking Record Store Day.
Oh, okay.
They think it's a cash grab. They think it's overhyped, and the shit that gets sort of pressed and released for Record Store Day is really not that good. So they're upset about it. Apparently, back in the day, these people also say, like, back when this first started, I loved it. It was great. And it's just sort of got more and more commercialized and more shitty every year.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, the intent of Record Store Day was to release limited edition versions of records, or highly sought after records that haven't been pressed in a long time, certain variants and so on and so forth, and distribute them to independent record stores to help drive business and bring people in the doors.
That makes sense.
To help support the community. Great fucking reason, great thing to do. And we take part in Record Store Day every year, both times. We try to anyway.
Yeah, if we're able to.
The list comes out. I love looking at it to see what's on there. We make a list together. We've done a few list videos and posted those for 666s, as well as when we get records, we talk about those.
Yeah. Our list always starts out with like 20 items and goes down to like 4.
Yep. So real quick, what are your thoughts? Do you like Record Store Day? Do you think it's worth it?
I do not think it's worth it.
Okay.
But I haven't really been, I just kind of got into it the last couple of years, probably. I don't know how soon you knew about it before this.
It was actually when we first moved to Chicago. We went to a record store up in Lakeview East Lakeview, and they had a Dresden Doll album behind the counter, and he wouldn't let us see it or something because he was selling it online.
Right. Yeah.
And then I went online and found out that it was a Dresden Dolls Record Store Day release.
Yeah.
I eventually ended up buying it at secondary pricing. And again, that's another thing people really hate, is it becomes a hotbed for scalpers to try to grab stuff and flip it.
Yeah. So my whole thing with it is, I guess I'm kind of in the same boat as everybody, saying that if it was still the whole special pressings or like unique albums, or catering to the independent record stores and that sort of thing, that would be really cool. I do agree that it's gotten very commercialized, and the records that we're into aren't always at the store we go to, which it could be our fault. Like, we could go to a different store, but we are going to the record store that's local to us,
the closest to us,
which is supposed to be the whole.
Also, it's
thing.
the one with the shortest line, so that's kind of why I go to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get up at 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
and go sit in line for this.
Yeah.
I get up at 9 a.m.
Yeah, when they open at 10.
Yes.
So, I don't know, like, it is cool to get some albums. There's a few that I've really liked that we've gotten. But in my mind, would I buy this album if they just released it? Hell yeah, I would. I don't need a special day that is like, go buy it on this day. It is a whole experience sometimes to get up. Like, we've done it a couple times where we've got up, we stood in line, some people kind of stare at you as they walk by on the sidewalk.
They always ask, like, what's this for? What are you in line for?
Why are you freaks here? Like, I've heard somebody say, like, that's weird.
Oh, really?
Like,
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I think it was last year in April, actually. Okay. Somebody was like, what are you in line for? Okay. And, like, we said it, and they're like, that's weird. Like, why would you wait for records? But it's whatever anybody's into. Whatever.
I really like the experience. I used to shit on people who'd get up for like Black Friday and go like trample people to get a fucking TV.
Oh, I would never trample anybody to do.
I thought that was ridiculous and so fucking stupid. And I used to like look down on these people who are like, fucking dumbasses. What the fuck are you doing? Do you really need a TV that bad type thing?
Right.
Like, that's what I felt. And then we moved to Chicago, and I started getting up at 5 a.m. to go get beer for special beer releases. And I do it now for Record Store Day. Not 5 a.m., but I still get up and do that. And I really like the experience, especially these two communities, the beer community and the record community, because you'll stand in line and you'll just talk to people and hang out. The beer community, mainly because people bring a bunch of beer and you just drink that all day while you're waiting. And then you go get your beer and you drink that and like whatever. It's a great magical fucking day.
Yeah.
The Record Store Day, it's just fun. it does get me out to buy records. Something we have slowed down on a little bit.
Yeah, because we spent
picked
all
up-
our money on our like live music.
Yeah. During
Yeah.
2020, it went through the roof because, well, we didn't have live music. We're going to buy fucking records.
Yeah.
And now it's died down quite a bit. We don't go out to the record store that often. So
We need to go more. We need to
yeah,
prioritize that a little bit more. But I guess my whole thing is, if it's supposed to be driving out business to local record stores, how many people are sticking around to get records in the record store besides that 1 or 2 or 5 that
that's
they
the
buy?
thing. We just see people at our store anyway go in and out, in
Yep.
and out.
And that's what we do.
Yep.
We go in and out. We don't stick around and like look.
But the thing is, I think Reckless is pretty good. It does get people into the hobby,
Yeah.
and then they come back and keep buying more. Because
Yeah,
you see those
yeah.
Reckless bags all over the
You
city.
do, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the black and white with the hand on it. Like,
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. And maybe so we do go to the downtown Reckless
Yep.
here in Chicago. And maybe if you did go to like the Belmont or the Lincoln Square, I can't remember where it
know.
is.
Yeah.
Sorry. But the other location, those are larger. So maybe people do like, because the one that we go to is literally like, it's a circle. Like that's all you get. So maybe if you go to one of the bigger locations, it is like you go through the line, you get your records, and then you go mingle and buy things.
Yeah. This one I don't like because it is so small. They are moving though, apparently. So maybe it's going to be
That's
bigger.
what I saw online, and now I haven't seen anything since then.
Yeah.
So we'll have to kind of keep up with that. But
Yeah. But also for me, the record selection itself, like I always do find things, and I always find other things that I wouldn't have picked up if I
Okay,
didn't.
yeah,
Because I'll be watching videos and I'll be watching people talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's why I found out about like the Serge Tankian, like, and I can't remember who else it was, but they did a fake score for a sci-fi movie.
oh, okay.
And I was like, well, shit, I want to get that now. That sounds awesome. I know Serge Tankian. Like, that's going to be fucking awesome. So there are stuff that I will pick up that like I wouldn't have normally picked up. So that's kind of cool. The prices are a bit pricey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes the biggest regret I have is the Corey Taylor album. That is 2 songs. I can't remember who was on the other side, but it's Corey Taylor on one side playing one song, singing one song. On the flip side is a 12-inch too. On the flip side is another artist singing that exact same song. And I think I paid like $25 for that. And I was like, are you fucking shitting me?
Now what? Is it like $5 on
It's
Discogs?
super cheap on Discogs. It's so goddamn cheap.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Like some of this stuff can go really, really low in price.
Yeah.
Others, again, that scalper mentality will pick it up and then sell it for $200.
Yeah.
Like that Dresden Dolls. I think I paid $150 for that. So that's a bit frustrating.
Yeah. I think that's part of it is we're kind of lucky for the store that we go to. There's not very many metalheads that go. So the items that we absolutely want
Are often there.
are
if
often
they
there.
have them.
If they have them, they're there.
Yep.
We did go one time. I think it was like Taylor Swift was
She was the
main
person.
main
yep.
person, and
The
like
ambassador.
that was when we were really far back in line. But once we got in, we still had all the music we wanted, so it was fine. There are some times where we don't see something because our particular store doesn't have it, and they will say like, "Oh, it's at a different store," and it's like, "Well, we're not going to be
Yeah.
going an hour and a half away or like on the train and stuff to go get it." But we have found record store day items at other record stores. Like I can't remember which one we found in Denver last year.
Something vinyl and CD. It's next to
Andy,
Brutal Poodle.
yeah, what's it called? But anyways, yeah. So we found a record at. So we found them
We'll throw the name up.
Yeah, we'll throw it up. Angelo's.
Angelo's, yeah.
Angelo's in Denver. So, but we found a record that wasn't at our store. We found it, and you didn't think that we would find. You were like, "Oh, we'll just wait
Jazz
for
Sabbath, yeah.
Jazz Sabbath." Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not expect to see
Like
that there.
you didn't think that we would find it out in the wild. I'm like, well, it's right there.
Yep.
So that is something that I have noticed is if I see that little record store tag, I'm like, oh, this is probably something special that we didn't pick up at one point. So let's maybe pick it up now. Sort of
Look
thing.
at it type thing, yeah.
Not saying that we're gonna buy it just because it's record store day, but
Yeah. So I mean, I get both sides. I really, really enjoy Record Store Day. I can see the argument why it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And people are just like, go out and just buy a different record. It doesn't have to be the special pressing. I like the special pressings with like the certain song, like additional songs or even different color vinyl. I love color vinyl.
Yeah.
Splatter vinyl, all that shit. So I do enjoy that, but I definitely see the argument from people, especially again that Corey Taylor one I got of like, I can't fucking believe I paid this much for this piece of shit.
Right. I think
And not a piece of shit. It was overpriced for two fucking songs.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I like it. It's fine. I do think it's really commercialized now.
Yeah.
But it does get people out to buy records. So.
It does, and it's fun. Just go out and explore music. So
yeah, exactly. Maybe we need to take a trip around the store after we buy ours next year or this year.
Maybe if they move to a new location, it becomes more
that's true.
Roomy in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, in any case, you don't have to buy music. Just go out and find music, listen to music. It's all over the place. You'll
support your artists and buy music.
Yes, support your artists, support your local stores as well.
Yes.
Even if you're at Record Store Day or not, just go out there and support music, support what you love, and yeah, we'll catch you out there.
Yep. Bye.